Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Imperfect Cheerleader podcast. My name is Jasmine Neely, and I'm your host for the Imperfect Cheerleader podcast. And today is our last day of the DCC, Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders Making the Team Netflix series recap. This is episode 7 recap. We are there, y'all. I feel like it's been a long time coming, but we are at the end of this saga. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I also just want to say that if you are interested in taking any classes with me, I have classes that are monthly, and my next class is September 13th. It's a Saturday. I think that's the Saturday. But let me know if you're interested in taking that class, and I can send you the link to sign up. Let me know that you're coming, and we're going to have a good time, okay? I love teaching you all, and I love coming up with fun routines. So definitely make it out to the class if you haven't so far. I will say the atmosphere is very welcoming and warm, and I think that you are comfortable making mistakes. It's not like a really tough, I push you, yes, but it's not like a scary environment, I should say. So definitely come out to the class if you need to talk about it, if you feel like you have some anxiety because you haven't taken a class in a long time. I feel you. I just took my first ballet class today in like 5 years. Well, this week I took it. And let me just say, it was not easy, okay? That class was hard. So, with that being said, come take my class if you are in the Charlotte area. Okay, now let's get into this episode. It starts out with Victoria as she is moving to New York City, and her mom are trying to navigate the city. They're trying to live that New York City life, and those New York City streets will definitely have you effed up if you don't know where you're going, because everybody in New York seems like they know where they're going. If you've ever been to New York, you know that when you're walking around, people are walking with a mission. They are walking like they have to go somewhere and get somewhere, and it's fast. And so if you don't know where you're going, you kind of look out of place, because it's like, oh, if I'm walking the wrong way, I gotta turn back around. And turning back around sometimes seems like it screams tourist, or she's not from here. So I think it's just funny that them being from Dallas, being from the South. Is Texas considered the South? I think so. Midwest, whatever you want to call it. They are in the New York City streets trying to find their way. I think it's just really cute. They were saying hi to her. Well, her mom was saying hi to everyone. And I'm actually really happy that Victoria left Dallas and is moving to New York City to be on her own. I hope that she's found a lot of growth in that. She took DCC and made it what she's worth, basically. The exceeding expectations all the time and questioning if she was good enough, it eats up your self-esteem. And when she said that, I felt that, because that's so true. When you are on a team like this, it can kind of feel like you never know if what you're doing is good enough, if you're doing a good job. Sometimes you might have anxiety about that. So I definitely felt that when she said it. And I'm glad that she's kind of moving on and moving to a new chapter and trying to have fun with the process and growing as a young woman. And if there's any place that will help you grow, it's definitely New York City. Now, her mom stayed with her for a while, it seemed like, based off the episode, and then she eventually left. And when they left, it was this beautiful scene where they went in for a hug, and then they came back and hugged again. I thought it was so cute. I hope to have a relationship like that with my own daughter. Just like very close, not wanting to leave each other's side, and just, feeling like you are just one with each other. It's so beautiful. Okay, and then we cut to Chandi, and we all know what happened. If you listen to the last episode, I went on a whole rant about Chandi. And I'm just gonna say exactly what I was thinking in this moment. She wasn't thinking about other people. She wasn't thinking about other people's safety. She just was thinking what she needed at the time that this happened, right? And I totally relate. I've made mistakes in my past that have been questionable and sometimes put a dent in friendships and relationships. And to be honest, I was thinking about what I needed at that time. I had low self-worth and searched for it and other things without regard for others. When you are at a low point like that, all you can think about is what you need at that moment. What's going to make you better? What's going to get you out of a hole you are in, especially if there's libations and there's alcohol involved. That doesn't make your decision making any better in any situation. It's important to surround yourself with people who know you and care for you, and for you yourself to put yourself in the hands of those people. Hold them accountable. The people that are close to you, hold them accountable. And that looks like several different things. It can be, if you feel like I am not being myself, please don't hesitate to bring it up and confront me about it. Bringing them into that kind of lets them say, hey, like, you're giving me permission to ask you this. You've already given me permission to ask you this. So yes, in that moment, Chandi was probably good at hiding, and she made a poor choice that put her teammates in danger and could have put herself in danger. However, I have a lot of empathy for Chandi because I've been there. People who criticize what she did, like fiercely criticizing what she did, likely are not going through what she is, or never has gone through what she's gone through, and lacks empathy because of that. That girl has been through a lot, and I really hope that she's better for all of it. It's also hard to go to someone on a team when they were in the Bahamas. It's hard to go to somebody on the team with information that you are struggling, because everyone's there to have fun. The focus of that trip was reset and revive or something like that. It was a reset. So that means let your hair down, chill, no drama, have fun. You don't want to be the damper on that experience. It's so easy to say, yeah, she should have went to her teammates about that. But it's easier said than done. And I think we have to give her some grace, because that's not easy to do when everybody else is there for a specific reason, to recharge, to reset. And you don't want to be that person that's like ruining that experience. Just think about that. Put yourself in her shoes for a second. All right, that's all I really have to say about Chandi. I would just say give her some grace, because we've all been there. We've all made mistakes. We've all gone through challenges. Nobody is perfect, right? Then we get into some really exciting stuff, and the dancers are performing with Kacey Musgraves at her concert in Dallas, and she invited the Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders. And Kelly Finglass is kind of obsessed with the Saturn Return. And Saturn Return, it happens, for those of you who don't know, it happens around year 27, when you turn 27, and it ends around 30, 31. And it's years of transitioning. It's years of discipline, defining moments, dedication, excellence. And Kacey Musgraves has a song about this. And it's kind of fitting for the show, because a lot of these women are going through changes in their lives. Some are going through changes becoming women. Some are going through changes where they're going through the next chapter, where they might be married or they might have kids. Some of these women are trying to find new careers while they are being on a DCC on the team. And so in your late 20s, I definitely had a Saturn return. There's a big shift in my relationships. And I think that it really taught me a lot of things about who I am and myself. So if you're in that period of your life and you're going through something really challenging, then I feel for you. Know that this too shall pass, okay? It will pass. A lot happened in this episode. And we also get into the My Cause, My Cleats, where the cheerleaders, they choose a cause and they represent it for the game. And they highlight Armani because she has alopecia and she wants to dance for alopecia awareness. And the whole time they were telling her story, I cried. You can hear her breathing. So she came out, she does thunder, and the camera's on her the entire time during that segment. And you can actually hear her breathing through the performance. She probably had on a mic because she was mic'd up for the game and for the show. But it's kind of breathtaking because, like, she's smiling and she's breathing and she's kind of just breathing her way through it. And it seems like she is a little nervous to go out there. She goes out there with no hair because she usually wears a wig. And she goes out and she is bald and she is just thriving. Her teammates are hyping her up. I think that's one of the best parts too, and probably why I got teary-eyed, because her teammates are telling her how beautiful she is and how she can do it and how she's going to feel so empowered. And I just love that they are surrounding her with all that love, because I think she said it, like, it's not easy when you are surrounded by all these beautiful women who have gorgeous hair and you have no hair, and you have to find beauty in your own way. And it's so brave of her what she did, and I'm proud of her. And I don't even know her, but I really like that they highlighted that, because alopecia is real, and a lot of people don't even know what alopecia is. And it's, I think, I'm not a doctor, but it's when you don't grow hair follicles and basically your hair falls out. And even Kelly and Judy, they were giving her, just hyping her up, hugging her, showing her so much love. You can tell that the support was in the room there that day. At one point, Reese was talking about something, and she was saying, like, no, I think it was Chandi, and she was just saying, like, she was keeping it real, and I appreciate that about her. And she was saying that it's stressful, and she said, like, the friendships that you have through dance, you know that your dance friend will have your back and you have theirs. It's a different type of love. It's a different type of friendship, because you share this bond and passion together, and then you're coming together, you're doing all of this on one team, and everybody is going through similar things. People might not talk about it, but a lot of people are going through a lot of the similar kind of feelings. And so it's that just different type of friendship that I think is unique and special. So they're going through this last game. They are through the season. They're not going to the playoffs. And everybody, especially Jada, she's crying and she's like, this is my last game ever. I'm retiring after this. And I feel it. I'm like, oh, the last game. I don't know that my last game was as emotional. I think it was just really hot as hell because we were in Santa suits and it was hot outside. So I was kind of miserable during the whole game. And I think at some point we all got COVID, which was very interesting. So yeah. During my last game, somebody did a cartwheel on the field, and it was just like, okay, it's like you're really there to cherish that moment and have fun with your friends and your teammates. And so yeah, that last game feeling of the season is definitely, when you know you're not going to playoffs, is definitely really special, especially if it's your last game and you're retiring. Then we fast forward like 3 months later, and then the women are deciding whether they are coming back to audition again or they are hanging it up and they are retiring as a DCC. And one thing I just want to point out that was so funny during this scene was Kelly's accent, Kelly Finglass's accent. She said something to the effect of like, I don't know who she was talking about, but she was saying like, because last night you said you wanted to play pickleball. I think she was talking to Maddie. But yeah. And she was just kind of like upbeat. I think because it's the last part of what they have to do for the season, besides like the banquet, of course. Kelly Finglass has an obsession with Kelly from Weehawken. And I don't think it'll ever go away. She's like, Kelly from Weehawken. She even looks up like what Weehawken is famous for, and apparently that's where Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton did a duel back in like the 1700s, which is so random. But if you've seen the movie Hamilton, it's actually in that movie. So I guess that happened in Weehawken, New Jersey. Fun fact. But retiring is such a big decision. A lot of I noticed that some of them mention the outside world and how like there is a world outside of DCC and like that's the outside world. And I thought that was kind of interesting because it's like there is a world outside of DCC and we have to eventually go live in it, right? Full time. And it's kind of scary because all you've known for the past 3, 4, 5 years is this is what I do on my weekends in the fall. This is what I do during the week, practice with my friends, and I learn routines, and I prepare solos, and I go out there and I do my best, right? And it's kind of like this unraveling of an experience that is just a wee bit part of your adult life. And it's like a mourning too. It's like you're mourning that part of your life because it came and now it's gone. And now you have to move on to the next thing. But you know this thing that just happened is such a big part of your life, but it's not going to last forever. So it's a big decision because when you walk away from it, everything else that you do after, you feel like kind of has to top it a little bit. And it's kind of a way of like, where do I go from here? That was such an amazing experience. What else am I going to do to have that much of an experience? So you kind of get into this thought pattern of like, oh my gosh, knowing eventually that there's so many other things that you can do with your life. Like I said, it's not your life, but like there's this moment where you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do without it? You know? But eventually you'll learn that it definitely teaches you a lot of things about yourself. It'll teach you a lot of things about life in general. I also thought it was funny how Jada kind of tried and she was like, can I keep my uniform? And they were like, no. It's like, I wish that I could have kept my NFL cheerleader uniform, my Top Cats uniform, or at least one of them because we had so many. That would have been amazing. But of course, they don't let us keep our uniforms. You probably could buy it, honestly, if you wanted to. Okay, then we get back into a little bit more drama. The whole KayDiana situation, she was saying, so she got put in to be first group leader because Chandi obviously was suspended because of what happened in the Bahamas. So KayDiana was the group 1 leader, and she was saying how she didn't feel supported being a first leader. And then I don't understand how that really translated to what happened on TikTok. So I wish she would have explained that a little more, how she didn't feel supported. I'm not sure how many games she did as a first group leader, but maybe she was thrust in that situation. She was not given much instruction of what to do. And I kind of think when you're put in like a captain's position, you kind of don't have a manual. You kind of just have to go for it. And maybe that's what she's getting at, but I don't know if that's maybe a distraction of what happened on TikTok, because on TikTok, she had to go under investigation under the Dallas Cowboys because they accused her of being a bully and harassment. Essentially what she said on TikTok, I think she was saying something like, she was going to talk about the whole Chandi situation at some point, but not right now, and something like that. But I don't know why that was considered bullying. Maybe because she brought it up, potentially, and maybe she shouldn't have brought it up. So yeah, it was a bad judgment call, but like at the same time, we don't know the whole story. We just know what they showed us, and it's honestly not the end of the world. It's just kind of funny how a cheerleader would be put under investigation for that. But I'm not sure how often football players are put under investigation for being bullies, harassment, because I'm sure it happens all the time on a football team, right? It's kind of just feeding that stereotype that women are catty and like they talk about each other and they gossip and all of that. It's just like why are you doing this for TV? Are you doing this for the views? It's just, and it definitely made a hit. People were talking about it, but it's kind of just like, really, that's what you got. So that was kind of strange for me. But I do like that. So going back to that, she removed herself from the team completely. She didn't go to the banquet. She kind of just was like, I don't like how this situation is turning out. I feel like I didn't feel supported during my last half of the season or last little part of the season. And so she quit altogether. So good for her. That's not how anybody wants to go out, quitting because you feel like you're being pushed out. But sometimes you have no better choice because you don't want to be in an environment where it's hostile and toxic. So I hate that it ended like that for her, but it is what it is. I hope that she can still go to alumni events and not feel like she was shut out. Because honestly, I don't know her, but she seems like a lovely person. And it's just unfortunate like that they put that scrutiny on her and that the Dallas Cowboys organization kind of like shut her out. So lots of drama. A good thing though that happened towards the end of the season, actually after the season was over for the Cowboys, they got their 400% raise. And yeah, I thought that was so great. I'm sure they all wanted it to happen during the season, but it was probably just a lot going on and they just couldn't get to it. But I'm glad that it did happen when it happened, and that like the women this year are benefiting from that, I hope. So that's always great. So props to those women. Good job. You're setting the standard for other teams, and I hope that other teams can follow suit with that. We kind of end with the crutches. We kind of end with the banquet that they have at the end of the season. And honestly, somebody's always in crutches at the end of these seasons of DCC making the team. It's like they really put y'all through the ringer. And usually, I think I've heard that it's hip surgery, probably because of all the jump splits, but like, dang. Like, who is Dallas Cowboys, are they paying for these surgeries? Because dang. The jump split is iconic. Yes, but is it worth surgery? I don't know. Yeah. And the end is just kind of talking about how like they're retiring, they're moving on. Some of them don't get to benefit from the 400% increase, but they were part of it, so they're making history. And I just think it's a beautiful ending to a great show. Yeah, you really do become a different person after this process. And I'm excited to see whether... So you become a different person regardless if you're on the team or if you are auditioning, because you learn so much about yourself and how far you can really go and push yourself, which to a certain extent can be healthy and to a certain extent cannot be healthy. So I think it's a true test of how much you can endure and handle in situations and environments like auditioning for a team and being on a team, going through a full season. Okay, I am so thankful for you all for sticking through these 7 episodes with me. I hope that you found it therapeutic, entertaining, enjoying. I want to hear from you, and I want to hear what you thought about the episodes. Send me questions. They don't have to be about this, but send me any questions that you have about auditioning, what you need to wear, how you need to do your interview prep. We're going to go there, okay? Now, next time that we meet, we are going to have a interview, and it's with the former Miss South Carolina. So I hope that you can tune in for that episode because she's lovely. And I think that, of course, she can give tons of advice on speaking and preparing to speak in front of people, being an ambassador, and I think that you'll really enjoy it. So with that said, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Imperfect Cheerleader podcast. I will talk to you later. Bye for now, lovelies. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Imperfect Cheerleader podcast. Taking the time to listen while you're busy with all of life's responsibilities means the world to me. If you enjoyed this episode, here are a few ways you can support ICP. Number 1, hit the subscribe button so you always get newly released episodes and never miss them. Number 2, take a screenshot of the episode you listened to and tag @theprofessionalcheerleader on Instagram. We love to repost your tags and shout you out in our stories. Number 3, write a review. This is the best way to show your support for the podcast and helps us bring on even better guests, interviews, and topics. I hope you have a wonderful day, morning, or night, wherever you may be, and are continuing to work towards your goals of becoming a professional cheerleader, dancer, or just someone who loves to move. I'll see you later on another episode of the Imperfect Cheerleader podcast. Toodles for now.